This is the Audi 80. And he can't even get the bolt off.
G'day, welcome back. So you can see we're back on the Audi 80. You can see from the clips that we've got a bit of a head gasket looking issue again, which is not ideal since we did the head gasket a few years ago. Been running great, been running really well. Coolant temps have been super steady. Been running fantastic. Then the last few weeks before this kind of blew up, we're getting a bit of a stutter on startup. Took a moment to clear in the mornings, then it would be fine. And now we've got big clouds of white smoke coming out, and as you'll see, lots of bad stuff. So we're going to fix it up again, and we're going to see what it takes to get that done. So come along for the journey. Right, so you're seeing we've got coolant leaking down there, cylinder number 5. You've also seen that's got the best compression. Cylinder 4 is slightly lower than the rest. 1, 2, 3 and pretty even. Last time around, our head gasket problem was at cylinder 1, and it was leaking out the side because of corrosion and stuff and a failed gasket. Here is the old gasket. So it'll be interesting to compare that one with the one that's on the car. That's another brand new gasket, which there was a problem with that one. Oh, it got pinched. In shipping somehow. So yeah, we're gonna take the head off. Then we're gonna see what's what. Hopefully it's just a gasket problem. Hopefully there's nothing else. No cracked heads, no cracked blocks, no anything that's going to stop us going forward, and then we'll get it back up and running.
I've got the final horsepower numbers here. It's time for me and Zach to take this thing out for a ride, and then I'm going to tell them how much it made.
Right, going to undo the head bolts. Going to see, well, I'm just going to stick this kind of angle gauge, angle torque wrench thingy in, just to see how much torque it takes to undo them. We'll probably go off the gauge, but if we don't go off the gauge, then we've probably worked out our problem. So right there, the spline drive XZN, start over there. I think we found a problem there. Go down here. That wasn't tight at all, was it? But that doesn't necessarily mean the bolt was loose. There could be other issues that have loosened the bolt. But gee whiz. 2 relatively loose ones. Oh my gosh. I think we found a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's our problem. How are these so loose? How did it stay together so long? Let's see if we can actually measure this. So we're on 30, 40, 50, 60. 55 to 60 pounds there. That's about 40, that one. $50. That's quite disappointing. But I'll put in the clip of me tightening these. They were flipping tight to begin with. Here he goes. So all the new bolts, they've all been cleaned with acetone. I'm just going to oil them up. Quite a bit of oil, including under the washer at the top. And scooch that all around. Feel how this is going together. So we're leaking up here somewhere. See how shiny that piston is compared to others. Back of the gasket, see a bit of thumb in between those two. Doesn't look too bad. Why were my bolts loose? Right, let's look at that. This is cylinder 5, that was our problem one. Looks nice and clean. Just see kind of there where it kind of got through the gasket. So it could be user error, could be something. little bugger. Well, here's what's left of that stud. We managed to drill it out pretty well. Managed to re-thread those holes. They felt pretty good going in. So we've got another broken one there. New stud. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. Let's give our flange a good clean and then put some studs in. Just snipped it down a wee bit with the old double nut on my stud into my flange. Well, there you go, the result of several months of procrastination. I've got my studs into a flange.
Yeah, I can see it. The car's shaking, guys.
Jeez.
Yeah. Do you want me to do it, Jonathan?
No, I'm just going to do my deadlift, man.
I am pretty strong.
Yeah, they're all strong as 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
You might need a lovely pipe.
What about a breaker tool? A breaker bar. Guys, I'm the cameraman. I think Charlie hit the tank.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, fish.
That's a bit tight, Patrick.
Yeah, shall I stop the video? What?
What the hell? You, probably?
Probably the recent owners.
We are the recent owners.
No, yeah, the ones.
I doubt that's true, Patrick.
Can we listen to Michael Jackson on the TV afterwards?
Probably.
That's actually all you think what I am doing.
Is it? Right, valve stem seals. I didn't change these last time around because I didn't have the right tools. With these Audi heads, you can't get them out with this style of valve spring compressor. You need something that looks a lot more like this. It can actually fit in and deal with these recessed valves, etc. So we got the tool. I've done the first 5, 2, 4, done the first 6. So I'll show you me doing one, and you'll know it's the same for the rest of them. Pretty simple, but yeah, here we go. Right, we start with our tool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that one there. Pop it on the top, stick it on the bottom. Once you've got it reasonably kind of taut, just give it a wee tap. Just to help unseat the collets, they're called collets. Wind it on down. Get area of the magnet. Number 1. Number 2. You can tell it's a quality kit when this is the winding handle you get. But it works, so that's all that matters. Take this off. Get our magnet. Got the top bit. Give that a clean. Got the valve springs. So there must be a race car because we've got these fancy double spring deals. We'll pop our valve out. Looks like a valve, eh? Right, there's the old valve stem seal. Let's grab him out. Right, to grab them out, we got these special valve stem seal pliers. Again, I didn't have these before, got them now. Cheapest Chinesium stuff, doesn't seem to matter, they do the job. You grab hold of it and give it a yank. Valve stem seal out. These, for being 30 odd years old, there's still a bit of compliance in the rubber. They're not horrible. They're holding up pretty well. We didn't have any smoking issues. But you know, right, I'll give it a clean up and then I'll come back when we stick the new one in. The valve stem seal remover tool kit comes with the installer too, which is just this kind of drift with a selection of hobbies. We got our new Badgertronix valve stem seals. Pop one on the tool, come to a hole, stick them on, installed. Put it back together, we'll show you that, and we're done. So, spring, get our valve on the hole. Tool. Get our magnet, put the right way up. This is the trickiest bit, getting these bloody keepers in. I'm sure there's a trick to it. By number 7, I'm slightly better than I was at number 1. Get it. Oh, number 1 done. See, what I've learned about YouTube is you have to do something really badly and do it completely wrong, and then people comment on it and watch it. That's my tip to YouTube success. Do it wrong. Do it confidently wrong, and they'll just let you know. Anyone else get frustrated? Easy. Just turn it more. Right, I'll show you what that looks like. Hang on. There you go, so that's that there. All we need to do is unleash the what's it? Sorted. So that's how I do valve stem seals. Maybe you do it the same way? I don't know. But it works for me. What's that, 7 down, 4 to go, 2, 4, no, 3 to go. Last 3 to go, then we're done. Right, of course we're going to check our head for level. So we've got our straight edge, precision aluminum straight edge, made in Japan. We've got a 0.05 mil, metric feeler gauge. And we'll see if we can get it under anywhere. The answer is no. So yeah, I've been over this already. It's flat as a pancake. Give it a bit more of a clean up. But she's flat. The head's flat. I'll just give it a bit more of a clean up. But yeah, it's pretty clean. I've already been over it a few times with a razor blade and a non-abrasive pad. But yeah, we're pretty much ready to go back on. Valve stem seals are all sorted. I need to remember what happened with the studs. Can't remember. Do something with studs. These are studs. There's a bag of studs above it. They're probably the studs through it. Then we're going to stick it back on. Alright, so these head bolts, Victorines, assembled in the USA with components from Brazil, Canada, China, Denmark, Germany, India, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Peru, Portugal, South Korea, Spain, Taiwan, United Kingdom, USA, Vietnam. So I think that's about 1 bolt from each country, isn't it? So that's one of the old bolts. Total length of the old bolt is 108.46 millimeters. That's one of the new bolts, 107.78, so a little bit shorter, as you'd expect, because it hasn't stretched yet. I'll put them side by side so if you can actually see the difference. Alright, so we've got the new bolt on the left, the old bolt on the right. You see they are different. It's got a shorter wee unthreaded part, the shaft. And if you look at the top, the old bolt, that one there is slightly longer, so it has stretched. Right, so here we've got the original factory one, the one I took out when I first did the head. That's the replacement, that's the new bolt. So the new bolts we got now look more similar to the factory ones there. Victorines probably were the factory ones. This is the one we used last time, which I'm pretty sure was the Victorines. I'll check. But yeah, this one is different. It's got the longer shank, that bit. Otherwise they're pretty similar. But yeah, no, it's definitely the new bolt is more similar to the factory bolt. With that hasn't stretched that much. But yeah, new bolt looks better than the last set of bolts we used. We got tightening instructions. Tighten bolts with cold engine. Must be fitted by a qualified technician. Good luck with that, buddy. So max irregularity is 0.05 millimeters. We've checked, we haven't got that. lengthwise and laterally 0.03 millimeters. So yeah, we're good. No additional gasket sealants. Place the gasket in correct installation position. Lightly oil bolt threads and bolt contact areas. Fit cylinder head and loosely tighten bolts. Tighten sequence according to manufacturer's instructions. Which here we've got 30 Newton meters, 60 Newton meters, 90/90. Which I think is what we got. 40, 60, 180. So yeah, same deal. Apart from the steps are slightly different. Our second step is 60 Newton meters, 43 foot-pounds. Our second step is 60. Do 90 then 90, which is easier than doing 180 all up. I agree. Got our tightening sequence, which is, well, it should be the same as the factory. Yep, I'll go with that. So yeah, plus you saw I made some studs.
That's no.
For mounting the heads, which are nice and long. They're from a 2 litre 16 valve Volkswagen. It's just got longer head studs, so we'll use those. Cut the heads off, made a screw thread. There are locating dowels. Let's crack it on and crack it in. Right, so here's our new gasket. Looks pretty good. Grab the old one. Looks pretty similar. As we found out, this is actually an L-ring. But yeah, pretty similar. Same dealio. That's our cylinder that are blown. Looks like it's going to come across from that coolant passage there, where those bolts weren't tight. But on the block, that looks good. And for efficiency, all of our exhaust manifold nuts are individually wrapped. One big bag, one little bolt. Well, we got the manifolds on the head, got new gaskets, got new bolts. That is good to go. It's all clean. Again, we check the surface of our block. We've got a 0.05 mil feeler gauge. We've got a straight edge. I've checked it everywhere. Between the cylinders, everywhere that matters is completely flat. It's hard to get all the angles in here. But no, we're flat. We're good. We're cleaned. I've blown out all the holes several times. Cleaned everything up. It looks slightly ugly because I left it sitting for 6 months, and there's a little bit of surface rust, but we won't worry about that. That's all fine. It's all super flat, super clean. It's been cleaned off with our super cheap auto brake and parts cleaner. So yeah, we're ready to slap the head on. Right, here comes the gasket, top side up. Goes this way, I presume. Does not go that way, does it? Oh, well. Nice. Get our 2 dowels. There they go. Right, it's in. Just struggle getting the exhaust manifold gasket to line up there a sec, but right, stick some bolts in. I'm just going to lightly oil the threads. Most importantly, get some oil up underneath that head. Not a lot. I'll repeat this and do some tightening. Right, it's got 30 Newton meters. It's our first pass on our first one. These should go nice and easy. One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Should we go over them all again? That. Oh, yeah, with a bit more to go, so we'll make sure they're all actually at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. First pass done. We've got 60. You see, 60 on the dial. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10, 11, 12. Right, first pass done. We'll double check those. 1, 2. Not really getting much movement there, so we're pretty good. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Cool. We're at 60, double checked. Right, I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'll come back, I'll triple check those just in case they're going to settle in the next half hour or so, and we'll do the angle tightening. Alright, so a cup of tea later, just make sure they're still at 60. They should be, can't see why not. But if you don't check, you don't know. We did actually get some movement there. Getting more movement than I thought I would. Mostly on those centre ones though. Yeah. Right, not really much movement, but there was a tiny bit on mainly the first 4. So yeah, I'll say we're good. Right, so what we got here, because we don't have any other way of measuring our 180 degrees, we've got a dab of white pointing that way towards the front of the car, and when it's pointing at the back of the car, we know we've done 180. Now, other visual clue, because I do have an angle gauge, but it's completely useless. It didn't work at all last time, and I can't even find it now. So I've also got marker tape on there, so we've got a 45, 90, got a paint on the studs. Let's swing through these. 90 degrees, eh? It's 90. Number 2, 90. Three, 90. Number 4, 90. So much easier in the car compared to a engine stand. 5. 6. 7. 8. 10. 11. 12. Right, so that went well. First 90 went well. Last time around I had a little bit of creaking. Maybe I didn't oil the bolts enough, but we still got to the right angle. So that should be good. So we'll just check that we didn't miss one. All at our 90 degrees. And we'll go through and do our 180. You definitely need the big bar. There's a bit of humph involved, but I'm glad I've been going to the gym. One. Two. Should know it by now, but you know. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 9. 10. 11. 12. Right, you can see all our marks are pointing 180 degrees from where they were. Happy with that. Right, here's our box of hydraulic tappets, kept in order. Give them a clean, oil them up, stick them in, and put the camshaft in, and we're one step closer. Right, so because Audi did such a great job of timing marks on this engine, the crank timing mark is on the back of the back of the crankshaft, not really anything on the front. So we're just going to find true top dead center with a gauge, mark it, and put a mark on the front of the crank. Then we're going to wind it back so we're just before top dead center, so nothing's at the top. We'll put the camshaft in, get it all dialed, we'll be away. Alright, so we're sneaking up on TDC now. A rough idea of where it's going to be. It's hard to go slow enough. So it should be dialed on that 0 there. Just double check. And it is, yep. Alright, so we'll get back round to that 0. coming up there. So it should be this one here. Right, that's our 0, that should be us. I'm going to mark that. I'll make sure that's the top. Yeah, we start going back down there, so swing it around, just double check our... So we should be coming up to it on this one here. Should be about there. It's about there, perfect. Right, so when we come back around, we're going to stop a little bit before TDC so that no cylinders are at the top. About there. Cage came in handy. Got a mark on the crank pulley, one on the back, and that when it's at TDC it lines up with that snub on there. There was actually a very faint mark someone's put on the front of that crank pulley. Could have been me. There is a wee divot out of the back of the crank pulley there. But yeah, we know where that lines up now. We know where our TDC is. Now we can put the camshaft in. We're just before TDC, so there's no pistons at the top. So when we put the camshaft in, it kind of makes it a wee bit easier. Taking the pulley, big pulley off. So we just got the wee belt pulley here, and you see we've got a wee nubbin on that, which lines up with that mark there when we're at TDC. Alright, next up camshaft. Got some Lucas assembly lube, snotty stuff. Put it in each of these. Start up nice and moist. Put those lobes up. Get number 2 on. Add some more on it. Let's torque these down. These are 20 Newton meters. So I've just put this back cover on that goes behind the cam pulley, and you see the timer marks that are on there line up perfectly without touching it, so we got that pretty spot on. So yeah, I'll do some more stuff. It's not that exciting, so I'll just show you the good stuff. So we'll be back in a bit. Alright, so cam pulley's lined up, crank pulley's lined up. Here's our belt. Of course, you know what they say, always reuse a belt. Right, belt's on. Tension it, and Bob's your uncle. Right, so we're going to tension our belt. Just turn that through 90. So we'll go and tighten one of these up. Make sure it's not going to move. We'll tighten 2 up. Tighten 3 up. Right, then we're going to rotate that a couple of times, check our timing marks, check our tension, should be good. Right, do our 2 revolutions. That's one, so we should be 360 out, which we are. Second one. Right, 720 degrees, that lines up. That lines up. We're in time. We'll check our tension. Maybe tension that a wee bit more, and then stick the damper back on. Right, next up is the crank bolt, the infamous 5-cylinder crank bolt. Look at our specs. Crank bolt gets timed to 258 foot-pounds or 350 newton meters. My torque wrench goes to 210 newton meters. So we're going to do that, and then just hoof it as much as we can, and we'll be somewhere in the ballpark. That number 2 note says you put locking compound on it. Yeah, this is what we did last time, and you saw when I took it off, it was flipping tight, so we'll do the same, it'll be fine. Well, there's our crank bolt. I've cleaned it up. Here's our Loctite. Loctite 243, because that's all I got. Don't know if that's good or bad, but it worked last time. Yeah. Step 1, put in our locking tool. Well, that's I think it's 220 newton meters, so that's what it goes up to. Ba-ba-dee-ba-dee. $210 or $220. Get off. Oh, we're breaking our tool there. One more go and then we'll go, that's tight enough. We've got some movement on the big bar. Means it's chuffing tight. Right, that'll do. Want to take that back. Stick some oil in. That'll do for a funnel, because it's a funnel. Golden brown. Double checking I put the sump plug in. Filters on. How much oil does it take? This much. So this oil is not VW 501 or 502. It's a 20W50 API SP. It'll be fine. Alright, coolant, pressed down. Everything coolant. What was in there before? that much for right now. Right, oil and coolant in, batteries on, looks pretty good. Coil's disconnected, so it's not going to start, so we'll see if we get some oil pressure, see what it sounds like, and then go for a start. Right, let's try again. How'd that go? Anything coming out the top? Some oil up here. Plenty of oil up there. Check for fuel leaks. Check for oil leaks. Well, I reckon we'll put the coil lead back on. See what happens, eh? Okay. Close. To get in. Close. Oh, so it doesn't want to start. Doesn't really try and start. Get the odd cough. Unfortunately, the fuel gauge in this car has never really worked that well. So can't actually remember how much fuel it had when I parked it up. Plus, it's up on jack, so it's at an angle. So we'll chuck some more fuel in. The timing's exactly where it should be. I've had the timer light on it. So yeah, we'll stick some fuel in and see what happens. You got a movie? Come on, little fella. Thinking about it. Oh yeah, so maybe we were out of fuel, but we'll find out if it starts or not. Just you can hear the fuel pump. Give it a few of these. Right, so we should be able to start now. Timer out of the way. Here's our special starting device. See what happens, eh? Kinda. Might just need to adjust the timing a wee bit. Cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3, cylinder 4, cylinder 5. Thank crikey bikey for that. So you know our static timing was good, dynamic timing seems good. We've got fuel now. What else could it be? We got compression. So what? I don't think our timing can be 180 degrees out, because I suppose it could be, but I don't think it is. Firing order 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. We've got number 1, number 2, number 4, number 5, and number 3. The timing, ignition order, firing order seems alright. So yeah, you have to leave it with me a few minutes. I'll put some more gas in it, see what happens. Victory is mine! So I put some more fuel in it, didn't make any difference. I could still hear the fuel pump, still seemed to be priming, but you never know. Make sure there's plenty of fuel in there. Then I checked and rechecked the timing. I found it was 180 degrees out. Sorted that, fired straight up. Ran it up to temperature, got the cooling fan coming on, bled the system. Runs really nicely. You heard from when I revved it. Sounds sweet. So that's kind of the end of this video here. I'm just going to run it for a bit, see what kind of issue, if we have any issues. Hopefully we don't have any issues, and go from there. But in terms of what happened, your guess is as good as mine. Look forward to your comments. The only thing that I could really find different was those second set of head bolts. So the factory ones and the ones I use this time look pretty much identical. The ones I used last time did look slightly different. Can't imagine what difference that would really make. Maybe they're a faulty batch. I don't know. Maybe it was me. But you saw I put a lot of effort into cleaning, doing things properly, doing it perfectly, so I didn't have to do it again, but these things happen. So there you go. We'll see you at the next one. Hopefully I'll get some life out of this car, and we'll go from there. Cheers.